Hi folks, this is Kareem Raouf for IT Visualizer channel. We will continue our Lab Matrix Labs, the video number 99. We have been discussing in the previous video the following. We are still working with the topic of troubleshooting and repair Windows operating system using system file checker and a utility called DISM. I think deployment, something begin with deployment, and we can continue the abbreviation. Anyway, these are two very famous tools that you can use to repair the Windows operating systems or Windows operating system. In some situations, it's not the ideal solution to reinstall or reload the Windows operating system. Sometimes there is some critical servers or some critical workstations you cannot reinstall the Windows because this will wipe important data, or this will take a lot of time. Even if you can take the important data before wiping the operating system or reinstalling the operating system, this is also not an ideal solution in some cases. Servers are very difficult to reinstall and reload Windows operating system. You need some time, you need some maintenance window, you need reinstallation of applications. A lot of things should be done, even though if you have an image. So it's not an ideal solution to reinstall Windows or reload Windows. This is the last resort. You should begin fixing the operating system, or your first step is to try to fix the operating system before taking the decision to reinstall the operating system from the beginning. Anyway, we have seen that these two utilities are very important. We have seen that we can repair the Windows while you can access it online. So there is two situations where you can access the Windows operating system, but you are facing a lot of errors and a lot of bugs. So you can log into the Windows normally, and then you can use the SFC and DISM commands to repair the operating system. But what if you cannot do that, or you cannot boot to the operating system? We have stopped the last time at this error. So for example, if you open your server or open your workstation, and then you encounter this message, which is automatic repair. First you open the server or the workstation, you will encounter an error like that: diagnostic repair or automatic repair, and you failed to log into the Windows operating system. So what we can do, how we can use the SFC and the DISM utility while we cannot access the system, which is called offline repair. So if you can log into the Windows uh, and then you can use the SFC and DISM, this is called online repair. If you cannot log into the operating system and you need to use SFC and DISM to repair it, this is called offline repair. And actually it is repairing the Windows protected files, okay, or the system files. So how we can do that? We have seen in the previous video that you need to build a bootable flash drive. You can download the Windows ISO image from Microsoft website and then burn it on a flash using some of the famous programs like Rufus or Windows Media Creation tool. You can use them to create a bootable Windows operating system or a bootable flash drive Windows operating system. If you are keeping your PC in a cascade with Windows Update, when download the newest ISO of Windows from Microsoft. Anyway, so you need to download the latest Windows ISO operating system. Okay. Uh, for example, if you have Windows 10 installed, they need to download the latest Windows ISO image for Windows 10. Okay. If you have Windows Server, for example, 2022, you need to install, also you need to download the latest Windows ISO image for Windows Server 2022. Okay, create a bootable flash drive with the appropriate, if enterprise, professional, education, or home version of Windows. Test the flash drive to make sure it functions properly. Okay, this is the source of good Windows files we will use to repair your PC and laptop. So this SFC and DISM will repair the Windows operating system by copying good files from this flash and replace it with your corrupted files in your currently installed operating system. So we have unstable boot issues Windows 11 Pro when we need to have a bootable Windows 11 Pro. So this is the case, unstable or boot issues. This mainly we are talking about offline repair. So what we should do after that, so we'll boot it. If you have a virtual machine, then you can just not burn it on a flash drive and boot with it. This is if you have a physical machine. If you have a virtual machine, then you just attach it to your virtual machine. For example, Hyper-V. From this screenshot, we can see we can mount it, or we can add it just by going to the setting and adding it to the DVD virtual drive. Okay, or for VMware or for VirtualBox, the same applies. So after that, offline repair tips for success. Check your ISO image install containers. Sometimes Microsoft uses. So for example, if you download the Windows ISO image, sometimes the Windows ISO image contains multiple operating systems. So for example, if you are downloading Windows 10 ISO image, sometimes it contains all of the Windows 10 versions or different versions. For example, you can have one ISO image that contains Windows 10 Enterprise, Windows 10 Home, Windows 10 Pro. So you need to identify for the DISM utility which version he will use, or he will choose to copy the healthy files of the operating system and replace it with the corrupted files or your corrupted file systems. So for example, here we can see that we have DISM command. We tell them we need to repair the C, okay, our operating system C, and we have this so-called scratch directory. This is something like a space the DISM command will use to help you to repair your operating system, something like a RAM or something like a temporary location he can use to maybe put some files and then delete them after that temporary location, okay. And actually I saw one of the videos, you can miss, or you can neglect this section or this command and it will work normally. Okay, it will tell you that it needs a scratch directory, but if you not use this command, it will go normally. Okay, so you here identify the operating system, the partition that contains the corrupted operating system, the scratch directory. You can tell him, for example, create on your C partition a directory called dir1, and this will be your scratch directory. This is normally what we do. You go to your C partition, create a folder, and this will be your scratch directory. This may need space to perform its work, so create cdir and use for scratch drive. How we can create a folder through your command prompt. This is there is some commandlets we can use, and I'll show you all how we can do this. This is simply, you can go to the internet and see how you can make a directory. For example, if we go here and ask Perplexity, if we go there, how I can create a folder from command prompt. This will be simple, very easy command. So here we can see, very simple. We can go now and see, we will go, you will be in the CMD prompt. Okay, and for example, if you go and choose to be in the command prompt, we will tell him make directory mkdir and then put the name of the folder. And this is how you can create a folder from the command prompt. So when we boot our flash drive that contains our operating system or our fresh operating system image, and tell him to repair, and then go to the troubleshooting section and then go to the command prompt, then we tell him make directory. We need to go to the C partition and then tell him to create a directory. We will call it dir1. Okay, so this will be our scratch folder, and then we can type the DISM command and begin the repair process. Okay, here we clean up. This is the process. Restore health. We have seen this before, how we can restore the health, okay, of the this is the command to restore corrupted file systems with a fresh copy from the flash driver or flash files. The source, okay, which file he will use as the source of the fresh system copies. We tell him sources install WIM. So this is if you have a bootable Windows operating system or a flash bootable operating system, you will see that the Windows, it is in the install.wim or install.esd. These are the two. Okay, here we can see 6. What is 6? This is how, or this is the number, or this is the version of the operating system. So for example, you have 6 operating systems on this Windows ISO image. So number 6, it is the one that we choose, or this is the, for example, Pro edition or the Home edition. Okay, so we need it, or they need the DISM to take the files from the Pro edition and fix it to our corrupted Pro operating system. So how we can know the number? There is a way that you can tell him how you can get the index of the operating system. Let me show you all also how we can do that. If you go there and ask him, or go to Perplexity, how I can know the index of the Windows, okay, operating system from an Windows ISO image. So if you have an image of Windows that contains multiple Windows operating system, for example, Pro Enterprise, for example, Pro Enterprise and Home, for example, you need to know the number or the index of the operating system so you can tell the DISM to use it. If you are, for example, repairing Pro, you need to know the index of the Pro system on the Windows ISO image. Okay, if you are repairing the Home, they need to know the index of the Home operating system on the Windows ISO image. Let's see how we can do that. So here, this is very simple. We will go and open a terminal, and then we will mount our Windows ISO image, and then we will type this commandlet. Okay, if it is installed WIM, so the multiple operating systems are in this file. If you have an ISO image, all of the Windows operating system are included in this file. You can see it is .wim or .esd. You need to know which is in your DVD or ISO image, and tell him to get the win info. So it will get you, after typing this, it will give you some numbers from it. For example, if you can see here, after typing the commandlet, it will give you this this result. For example, this is Home and Pro. I need to repair my Home edition, so I will take number 1, see this one, and put it at the end here. So I am asking the DISM to go to the install.wim and choose the Home edition as a reference for the fresh or the clean system or the healthy system files. Okay, so this is how we can get the version. This is if your Windows ISO image contains multiple operating systems. If, for example, Enterprise, which is the case, if you download Windows ISO image for the Enterprise edition, then it will only include the Enterprise edition. So you don't need to put or you can don't put this index, because it only contains one operating system. Okay, so test your command syntax and save it to text. Save your text files to your flash drive. Syntax errors waste time and add frustration. Add comments to your text file for future reference. So you do not need to type all of this commandlet. You can put it in a text file and put it with the flash drive, or you can just open it from another computer and copy paste, uh, or you can have it written, so you do not need to the good thing, you can just, I think you can open it, you can boot your Windows ISO image and open text file in the boot phase or in the repair phase. I think you can do that, so you can just copy paste and then work directly without having to type all of this. Okay, so we can see here, this is the commandlet. As we can see here, for example, he's taking C path to the root directory of the offline Windows or the corrupted Windows uh, location, and we can see source of repair files on the bootable flash drive. This is good. And then we can see check and repair Windows component. This is the health restore or cleanup image, restore health to clean or repair the operating system files. And we have seen the scratch directory. Note, some ISO uses install.wim and other use the extension install.dsd. Check your ISO and verify the extension on the file. So again, this, if you are making repair through a flash drive. Remember, in a previous video, you can make repair using the DISM command from a network drive. So these files or install.wim can be on a network drive. But anyway, you cannot boot to the repair section or repair mode if you don't have a Windows bootable ISO image, or Windows bootable DVD or flash. Okay, anyway, do not use the network as to save your Windows source. Okay, this can be done on the online repair, not the offline repair. Anyway, so we can use this. As we can see, all of this is done, and we can see that how we can make an offline repair. Just a moment, guys. So let's continue, guys. Here we can see this is the commandlet. Again, this is the path to the root directory of the offline Windows or the corrupted Windows partition. The scratch directory needed for DISM to function. Create a dir on C partition for this function. We have seen how we can make a directory through the command prompt. Cleanup image health check. This is to check the health. As for repairing, you need to tell him restore health. Okay, so you can check health or scan health. You can do both. Okay, and we can go to the we have seen this in the screenshot. So here this is a clear slide about the commandlet. The same is there, so he have this concluded in one slide, and then he is digesting it in different slides. So as we can see here, this is how it is done and how the repair process will be done. Okay, so I think he will be on the X partition, and then we'll type DISM. So we need to make sure that C is the partition for the operating system, and then we will type all of the commandlet and then begin working with it. Okay, so this is how it is done, and then successful offline repairs. So you can repair using the DISM command, or you can repair using the SFC commandlet. You can do both. Okay, so you can use this one or use this one, but make sure that you are I think with SFC we need to also make sure that we are sitting on the C partition. So here, boot PC and run Windows Update, run SFC and scan now. Successful offline repair to component store, boot PC and run Windows Updates. No, I need to do SFC offline. So I think there is also one of the slides that you need to identify for the SFC, the location of the operating system, so he can repair it. So this is the SFC and the DISM. If we continue working with the slides, so DISM offline scan or check health options, we have seen this: scan health, check health. It needs the root directory of the Windows partition. Okay, this is it. This may need a scratch directory. We have seen this. This is md or make directory, mkdir, or this is how we can do this. This is if we go and tell him the create a folder, so you can tell him mdk. So for example, let me try to do this copy, and if you go to the cmd, okay, and tell him make directory. So now I have make a folder called a new folder in the C. If I go to the users or to Windows C users and then Kareem, and then where it is, actually it's here. We can see here is the new folder. It is created today. So this is very simple. We can do like this. What about what Mr. Lovanderpool says, that you can tell him md, let's try to do md new folder and press enter. So md or mkdir, okay, let's see if work will both works. Okay, we can go also again to the C and then users and then Kareem, and then we have new folder as well. So both commandlets can work, md or mkdir or md. Okay, so this both can work. Example here we can see this is how we can use the commandlet. And disk repair offline, we have seen this, all of this is done. Limit access, because here limit access is telling the DISM not to use the internet for, sometimes it uses the internet even though you are telling it to get its fresh Windows file systems from an ISO image. Sometimes if you do not put this commandlet at the end, it will go to the internet and get some files. So if you don't have internet access, you put limit access. Okay, bootable flash drive, source of repair files. Limit access indicates we will not use Windows updates. So this is a good thing, because if you don't have internet access, then you should put this at the end. And actually I am putting this as a source because I will not go to the internet and get the new system files or the fresh or the healthy system files from the internet. So this is a good thing. And then we can see here, this is the commandlet limit access. 6 is an index number or the multi-edition ISO image. Okay, so these are all simple things. At the end, step 2, restore an older version of the registry. If all the above fails, try to restore your computer from a restore point if available. This if you have a problem. If we see from the beginning of the slides, if we have two problems, problem with the system files or problem with the registry. It is easy to fix corrupted system files using SFC or DISM, but it is not easy to fix registry problems using these tools. Are not used to fix registry problems. So how we can fix registry problems? By a backup. If you have a restore point, you can restore it back to fix registry problems. If you don't have this, then this is an issue. And by the way, there is a way I will show you guys in the next video how we can have a backup of the registry if we do not use the system restore option. So for example, let me show you again. If we go like this, right click on properties, this is the system protection. Okay, so by activating it on C, we have a backup of the registry. So simply you can go through the offline repair mode or through the CMD prompt from the bootable Windows ISO image. You can go and restore points from the offline repair mode. But if you don't have this activated or this working, then you do not have a backup of the registry, then you will not be able to do so. So I will show you all show you a way. If we don't have system restore opened, we can still have a backup of the registry and this was done in the previous versions of Windows. Microsoft was activating the backup of registry even though system restore point is not working, but nowadays with Windows 10 and 11 this option is not available anymore. You need to have a backup of the registry if you activate the system restore option. If you don't activate it, then we do not have a backup of the registry. Before that, Microsoft was having two options to have a backup of the registry, to have system restore and to have registry backup using another way. I will show you all how we can or how this was done. Okay, so anyway, if you go to the slides and continue with the other things, let's continue. So here we can see if this is the problem, then we can fix it using SFC. If the problem is the registry, you need to have a backup of the registry. So we have restore points, backups, push reset button. So sometimes the reset, or you have an option in Windows called reset Windows. This I think will also contains a backup of the registry. Clean installation, or to reinstall the operating system. So if it's a problem with the registry, you need to restore your restore points. If you have a backup, okay, of the registry files manually, maybe push the reset button. So this is also how you can reset the Windows. If you can go online or if you can access the Windows, then you can tell him to reset Windows from the configuration section in the Windows. There is an option called reset, or you can do this offline by booting from the Windows ISO image and tell him to reset the Windows. Okay, clean installation, this is the last resort. Okay, so again, let's continue the slide. Step 3, in place upgrade of Windows. So sometimes this is a trick. For example, if you have a corrupted Windows 10 and the SFC didn't work and the DISM didn't work and the registry backup or restore didn't work, then there is something you can just boot with the Windows, okay, normally, and tell him to upgrade, not to have a fresh installation. Tell him upgrade your operating system. This is something like reinstalling the Windows without removing the old one, just replacing the old file, something called upgrade. So again, let's see the situation. If you have a corrupted Windows system and SFC and DISM and registry repair or registry restore didn't work, then you can boot with your Windows ISO image. Instead of telling him a fresh installation or a custom installation, tell him to upgrade. Even if to upgrade to the same version of the Windows you are working with, tell him upgrade. Okay, or upgrade to Windows 11, for example. If you have 10, tell him upgrade to 11. Anyway, this is the way you can do that. You tell him to upgrade. So I have done this a couple of times. I have a corrupted Windows 10. I failed to repair it, so just boot with the Windows 10 and tell him to upgrade the currently used Windows 10. Even though upgrade from Windows 10 Home Pro to Windows 10 Home Pro, the same. But it's like replacing or upgrading an existing Windows operating system. Okay, this is like a repair, or this is something like partially refreshing or replacing the corrupted Windows system files. Anyway, so this is a good thing actually. And the last one is to reset. So we have a lot of things. We have the in-place upgrade. Sorry. I mean, we have registry backup. We have using SFC and DISM, and the last one is the reset. Okay, if the in-place upgrade does not help, you should reset Windows 11. Okay, and you have the reset options to keep your files or remove everything. New with Windows 10, you can download from the cloud a fresh copy of Windows. You can use a component store or what they call local reinstore. I would not recommend this option in step 4. Anyway, so you have a lot of steps to do. You can repair the Windows operating system. If it is related to corrupted file systems, you can repair the registry. If it is related to the registry, you can tell him to make an or upgrade in place. If this didn't work, you can tell him to reset the Windows. This is the last thing you can do by keeping your files but removing everything. Okay, so this is one good thing, and at the end This is concludes for our slides or uh, our video. Okay, in the upcoming video we'll try to ask the AI tools to explain all of these topic using different scenarios and different situations. So we have seen the slides, or we are working with the slide of Mr. Lo van der Poel, just to explain the topic, and we have some things clarified, but let's see how the AI tools will explain the topic from their point of view. So until I see you with God will in the upcoming video, hope this video is informative for you all, and thank you all for viewing. Thank you so much.